Greetings, everyone. Someone asked me this question and I'm going to answer. The person asked, what kind of man do you like? What kind of man do you find attractive? A very interesting question. I like a man that's powerful, but my interpretation of powerful is different from a lot of persons. I'm going to give you examples. I like a man where if we had a hurricane and our house blew down, he could build us back a shelter in a day. I like a man who can build the bed that I sleep on, who can put in the windows and the doors in the house that I live in. A man who can till the soil and plant his food and feed his family. I like a man who doesn't accept defeat. So if he falls a million times, he can get up again. Sometimes don't complain. A powerful man. I like a man that is kind, that's patient, that's loving. I like a man who takes pride in taking care of his family. I like a man who doesn't force me to stay home, but if I wish to do so, he has the fort. And even when we're struggling, he won't look for an excuse to run away. I like a man who takes being a father very seriously. In fact, see it as a failure if he doesn't provide for his child and be there for his child. I like a man who cannot eat unless his child is eating. I like a man who cannot sleep unless he knows his child is well. I like a man who pushes himself, and when people look down upon him, he look for opportunity to prove them wrong. I like a man who is able to accept changes, roll with the punches. A man who is not afraid to cry, but knows when to and when not to. I like a man who respects women. A man who is not going to go tit for tat, going to argue back and forth with a woman. I want a man who knows how to please his woman in every way. A man who doesn't think he's less than a man to say I'm wrong. To accept when he makes a mistake. And one, when I behave badly, I have to feel ashamed because of how he conducts himself. Because you can't feel ashamed no matter how badly you behave when you're a woman, if you're a man, if you're with a man who is not honorable. There's a saying that you should honor and respect your man. I like a man who forces me to, not because he tells me to, but the way he treats me. Because if he treats me with love and respect and honor, I've got no choice but to respect him, to reciprocate that. I like a man who knows how to be silent. I don't like men that talk too much. But I also like a man that knows his when to stand up and be a man. I like a man who knows when it's time to leave. Whichever situation that he's in, when it no longer suits his benefit, he makes no excuse, he makes no justification, he just leaves. I like a man who is peaceful. Try to live at peace with all men, but understand that those who are not living peacefully with him must be forced to reckon with him. I like a man who sends a message to the world that I'm your equal. And the day you threaten my safety and my well-being, you can no longer live in safety. You can no longer be free if I am enslaved. I like a man who loves nature, who understands that God is within him and God looks like his father. I like a man who says no without a shout and knows when to say yes without words. I like a man that loves himself first and extend that to the people around him and to the wider world. I love a man who knows that there's nothing that is impossible. There's nothing that he can't achieve. And a man who quietly pursue all his dreams, keep his hope alive, bless himself and those who bless him, and curse those who curse him, not necessarily verbally, but spiritually. I like a very spiritual man. A man who speaks things into reality. A man who's not afraid to be vulnerable, but is not always showing that. I like a man who will bathe me and care for me when I'm at my most vulnerable. I like a man who will allow me to do the same thing for him. That man is calling now. Stay blessed.